Well, hey there, you guys. Bienvenidos. I do not speak Spanish, so please forgive me for trying, but I do rarely try because I'm very self-conscious about it. At any rate, we are going to do, today we are going to do the drawing first, so I am not forgetting to do that. I forgot to get my computer going, so I'll have to get that at some point in time on. I brought in some flowers to cheer me. So I went to the store because we had so many gray days in a row. So I brought in these flowers from Fred Meyer, and then the sun came out. So it's actually been really beautiful. Today we've had tons of wind. It's been really warm though. So for us, it's been warm. It's still in the 50s. Today it's probably only going to get to the 40s. And be cold, but it's sunny, so I'm happy. I did get out. I got my leaves off the tree out there, so that's good because it's just been clinging to the maple. Today we are going to do a shaker card. Very fun. And I also, it's a really quick card. We're going to do this one first, actually. We're going to do this one for the little washi tape petals. I don't know if you have had a chance to play around with the washi tape petals yet. If you haven't, though, you're going to enjoy watching this because they're kind of fun to do. And then we're going to use this Morning Star, and I didn't even get it out, but the Capture the Good stamp set is the one we are, oh, come now, where are you? Well, I will find you. I know you're right there. I'm not even going to panic about it. It's probably on my desk anyway. In fact, I do see it right there. So we're good. So anyway, let me go over here really quick. I don't see that anyone is on with me right now. So I don't even know. Maybe I'm early. That's possible. That happens. Rarely, but it does happen. And if I am early, it's because I really wasn't paying attention to the time. Sorry. I'm pretty laid back here. But I do have my names all ready to cut out for our drawing, so let me do that really quick. And for those of you, last week we were talking about, well, because if you get more shares, then your popularity rating goes up. Not that I don't expect to be popular, but that's not what it's all about. But it's just about, let's see how many people I can reach. And so at any rate, I tried to get you guys to share more than once. And so, having said that, I think Freddie and Marty shared more than, and Jewel shared more than once. Hi, Linda. Linda, did you share more than once last week? Because my video, because I told you guys, if you share more than, I'll put your name in however many times you share. And so I believe Freddie and Marty and Jewel, I think Jewel shared more than once. I could be mistaken about that, but I think she did. It's really hard for me to see these things. Oh, you did? All right, so let me put your name in here again too. All right. You guys are good. You are so smart. You're like way ahead of the game on me. But anyhow, so for those people who shared more than once, your name is going in here more. Your name is going in here however many times I can see that you shared. You do have to write down that you shared each time, apparently, because when I was scrolling through all of those comments, I kind of had to just guess on a couple of them that you'd shared more because thought you had, but wasn't 100% sure. So anyway, it'd be really nice if Facebook would actually show me all of the stuff that happens on these videos. They claim to. I have a business page. So with your business page, you're supposed to be able to see everything, I think. And I'm sure they do their best. I certainly could. I don't know how to set up a website, a social media website, so it's got to be terribly complicated. So I shouldn't complain. But on the other hand, seriously, I think they could show me more things if they wanted to. But it probably would mean I'd have to pay for it, and I don't want to do that. So Okay, now these are very small in here, so it's going to be hard for me to reach my hand and even find them. They are in there. They're in there, but they're tiny. Wow. Next time I'll have to make sure I make them bigger. Okay, so for this is last week's video. I have no idea what I did last week. Isn't that terrible? I really don't have any idea. It was kind of on the fly. Oh, it was the honeybee. This is the honeybee one. And, oh, that was a really cute one. I had a lot of fun with that. There, I got one. Andy, Andy and Marty. Yeah, but Marty won last week. Sorry, Marty, I'm putting you back in here. Andy's actually the first one that got pulled out. You were just kind of stuck on with her. So Andy won. Andy, I think she just won too. How come you guys are so lucky? Anyhow, so Andy is the winner today, and maybe I'll send something to Marty too, just for fun. All right, so let me move my flowers. They really can't stay on my desk. They are pretty, but they really can't stay there. Hopefully they won't fall down. I don't want a whole bunch of dirt all over the place. And let me find this video. I know it's got to be here somewhere. Let me do that really quick and get the sound off as fast as I possibly can. And then we will get going. All right, let me move that so that I can actually see it. And I blocked all calls to my phone that are not in my contact list. So I'm hoping that means that this week there won't be any of that buffering and freezing as some salesman tries to call my phone when I don't even know how he could have possibly got my number. All right, so I am going to move my camera down, and you guys bear with me here as I do that. There I am. Now that I cannot blame on a telemarketer. That was all me. The way my camera is, I hit my power button. So my power went off temporarily, but I think we're still good. I will watch the side here and see if I totally messed it all up. Hopefully we're good. And it wasn't you. It wasn't your computer. It was me. But it looks like we're back and we're fine. So, all right. Thank you for sharing, Linda. I do appreciate that, and I saw that. That's good. And that one, once you write a comment, it stays in. Now, my desk is quite a mess. It is. But I'm going to show you the cards we're going to do. We're actually going to do 2 today because the little washi tape one's going to go really quick. I'm doing it just because I don't know how many of you have these little washi tape flowers. It's been sitting on my... I left off the S there. It's been sitting on my my shelf for quite a long time, and can't find a marker, so that's all right. I saw a bunch of cards made with them, and they looked really pretty. But it's only been this week that I got going on actually making something with this washi tape. But I thought it might be kind of fun for you to see me do that because it's interesting. It's just interesting. Do you have those washi tape flowers, Linda? And then the shaker card should be fun. I had a request to do that for our team meeting tomorrow. A shaker card. So I thought, well, let's try it with the camera. I think this could be cute. And I did learn a couple of things as I did it. So I thought, oh, well, we'll just do that for our video today too. All right, so what we are going to start with, of course, I pulled out some old cardstock from my base card. This is just some old little flimsy paper, and you can see it actually, I don't even know if I'll send this to somebody. I will. I suppose I will. But it's been in my stash apparently a long time, and the sun bleached this side of it, so it's not in the best shape. Maybe I'll use this one. This one's a little bit narrower, I believe, though. You can see it's so flimsy. This is the kind of paper you would get to actually probably copy cardstock, the very lightweight stuff. You don't have the washi flowers? Okay, well then maybe you'll enjoy this. And then we're going to get out, I didn't get a sheet out. Let me grab it. This is our Garden Lane DSP. I really like this side. This side's pretty too, but the color combination for me is a little more challenging. So I just cut the that base card just 4 1/4 by 5 by 11, and then scored at 5 1/2, the standard smallish kind of card size. And we will cut this at 5 1/2. Oops, that's my score line. And 4 1/4. I'll put it on this side since that's the side that's straight. Okay, and then we are going to use some vellum. Okay, so I'm just gluing this. I'm going to glue this right down onto my card, and I can trim my card. I don't really want any of that to show, but I'm going to get my vellum out here. Now with my vellum, I really like the vellum that Stampin' Up! Sells. I have had other vellum in the past, but I do prefer my my other vellum because, I mean the Stampin' Up! Vellum. My old vellum that I had was okay, but it actually had, it was pretty thin and flimsy. So it didn't tend to lay down quite as nicely as our Stampin' Up! Vellum does. You can't really, you can't, let me make sure I've got adequate light here. It's looking just a tad dark. Let's bring my little lamp a little nearer. Okay. You can't put, you kind of have to hide your adhesive behind things. And so I'm kind of adjusting my lights as I go here. That's why I'm doing, kind of yapping a little bit there. I don't want it to be in the way of my camera though. Okay, so that should help a little bit. So what we're going to do, since we're going to have some cardstock covering it here, this is where we're going to be laying our adhesive, is in this general area here, to lay this down. Now, if you've got a flimsier version of vellum, it isn't going to lay as flat because you can't adhere the whole thing. Now I have to say, I have got some special adhesive that I bought on Amazon that is, it's sticky tape, kind of like our tear-in tape. It's very sticky actually. It's specially made for vellum. Did I glue that on? Yes, I did. Okay, so we're gonna stick this on here. But I've got mixed feelings about it. Sometimes it shows a little bit too, and it's really hard to get that backing to peel off without peeling the tape itself off. Really hard, much harder than our other stuff. This is just a typical problem, but this stuff is even worse than normal. And if it doesn't lay flat, it shows under that. There. Okay, so now you can kind of see I don't know if you can see, but you can see there's it's sticky right there. Now the problem with that too, I do prefer to just glue it if possible, because then I have to be really perfect about sticking this sheet on. And if I had glue on there, I would have the ability to wiggle it about. Okay, so I'm going to rub it really quite a lot, and then you can see, you can still see a little bit. It's a little darker right there. So it's a little better than glue, but not much. Not enough to warrant buying this. I wouldn't really recommend it. It's if you really don't want to see, you want to show all of your vellum and you don't have any area that it's not going to show, then it's good. You can put tiny, tiny bits and not rub it down quite so much, and it's okay. But I wouldn't do it. So I'm going to trim the bottom of my card off there and get that evened up. All right, now we're going to take our we're actually going to use two washi tapes. We're going to use this washi tape, and where did I put it? You are here, I know, because I had, my goodness. I thought I had everything handy. And now where's my other washi tape? I have two washi tapes we're using. We're using this, that washi tape too, but I've used it apparently and not put it back where it always goes. Wow. I guess I'll have to hunt a little bit for it. Isn't that interesting? Okay. Well, at any rate, we will just keep going as though we have everything. We're going to use this Best Dressed cardstock, and we're going to use the Morning Star to do a background for this, because I really didn't like any of the flowers. Their coloring wasn't quite matching. I'm using Blackberry Bliss to match the color for this washi tape. And none of these flowers, they're more of the purple posy color. But this one right here, actually is a pretty close match. Now, I already have one done, so I probably better use it just for speed's sake. But what I did is I took our Morning Star stamps. I really like these Morning Star stamps because this is the sentiment we're using. Thank you for being you. And it also coordinates with our stitched star dies, and it's really cute. The little flowers and leaves are really easy to do. So let me just do one really quick so you can see. I'm not going to do a whole one, just a partial one, just to show you what I did. I took the little leafy die, or a leafy vine, I mean. That one's going to be too small. Let me grab a bigger block. Okay, and then I took mint macaron and just did some leaves. Okay, you can see this mint macaron's very, very light, so I didn't even have to stamp off at all. And then you get that cleaned off and put away. But I did have to stamp off the Blackberry Bliss quite a lot to get the color that I wanted on this. Blackberry Bliss is one of your favorite colors. It is one of my favorite colors too. I really enjoy it a lot. It's pretty. So it does match that. But I do have to stamp off quite a bit to get what I want. So I'll just do it over here on the side. So I'm stamping off 2 times before stamping it, and sometimes even 3 to get the color, that I want. So I used the larger flower in that stamp set, and there's also a smaller flower too, and I just did the same thing. It's a little trumpet vine, like I believe it's Morning Star is the name, so I'm sure it's a Morning Glory, although I'm telling you those leaves are not Morning Glory leaves, unless it's a Morning Glory plant I've never seen. They could be ones that aren't getting as much water as mine, because our Morning Glory leaves are actually really large, but I think that's what that flower is supposed to be, is a Morning Glory. Okay, so I'm going to cut, I think this is already 5.5 by 11. Yes, it is. And then I am just going to cut 1 inch, maybe a little more than 1 inch, just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room on that. And then this one also is going to just be 1 inch, but we'll cut the 5.5 inch length first, just to get that trimmed off. And give me just a little bit more on that one too. And so this is this Best Dressed DSB. It's kind of cute. I need to find a spot to put all of the scraps I'm not using. I was going to use this one, but then I realized all the shoes are on it, and I really want to use those shoes for something. But it does actually have Blackberry Bliss on the colors for this one. So just for you to know, if you want to use that one instead, it would work beautifully. It does have yellow in it though, so I'm not so sure about that one. Okay, so we're going to put the piece that I just did here, there, and then we're going to just layer this on top. And I'll just put some glue on that. And then I'm going to need to trim the bottom just a little bit, it looks like. If I can't find my washi tape, I'm not going to be able to put my washi tape edge on. And I wouldn't have to. It would be fine even without it. I kind of like that washi tape. It's kind of cute. And I don't have a lot of stamps lately that I've been wanting to use it with. Okay. Now if I had not layered the vellum and that DSP on yet, that probably would have been a smarter thing to do, because then I could have just put when I did my washi tape, I could have tucked it and then glued it all down. And I believe that's what I did with one of these. I've actually made 2 of them. And that's why, there's my washi tape. I knew I would find it eventually. So here, it has little sayings on it. Springtime is with me when she is near, and winter when, and so on. So it's got like little fun garden type sentiments on this this washi tape. And this came as a collection. I don't even know what the name of it was. Like, is that, how do you pronounce that? Is that Kudso? Is that what Morning Glory is like? Because it's like a bad weed. I thought that Kudso was a terrible weed. You guys get? Oh, I don't even want to think about that. I don't know. Maybe it's not a terrible weed, but I think it is. It has this washi tape has little numbers on it and little measurements. So they're just, it's just kind of a fun little washi tape. And I really like washi tape because it goes on really simple and fast. You don't have to really work at it. And if you don't like how you got it on, you can easily peel it off and try again. Now, since I didn't, I did adhere my other paper already. I can't just tuck it in and hide it, so I'll clip it off. But I can do that. It's not gonna hurt anything. And then we are gonna stamp. I did use my, I do need to stamp my design on my label, and I'm going to use this one just because I happen to have it handy. So let's do that. I guess I didn't even need to show you since I'm going to have to do that anyway. Get rid of some of these things on the side. I get so much stuff on here I can't even see what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to start with the flower. I actually like to start with the flower, not the vine, just because I want to make sure my sentiment is right here. And let's use this block. I don't have a lot of room there for the flower. I'm going to put my card right here so I can see how I did it, because I actually liked how that turned out. So we will put, it looks like I used just, for the most part, I think I just used the smaller flower on this label. So let's put that bigger one away and get the little one out. I think this Morning Glory, was it in, Linda, is this, I don't think this is in the big catalog. I think Morning Glory, I don't really remember where this is being advertised, what catalog that one's in right now. All right, so we'll just stick some little flowers here. Like that. leaving plenty of room for that sentiment. Oops, am I off? Probably am off. I better reposition here a tiny bit because I think I'm working too close to me and you're not able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to leave that out because I need to use that as for the sentiment. And then we're going to use, oh, okay, it's in the it's what we call the mini catalog, even though it's not very mini. To me, it's not anyway. It's the mini catalog. Are you able to remember the new words? Like Linda, are you able to remember to call the dies instead of thinlets and framelets? That was really hard for me because I've gotten so used to calling them thinlets and framelets that it was difficult to switch over to dies. I thought it would be pretty easy, but it actually ended up being a little harder for me than I expected. Now this one I don't have to stamp off, remember, and I actually don't even have to worry about getting it behind the sentiment too much because it's a very light stamp. And if I want to get it behind the sentiment, then I will stamp off, but I think I just won't. All right. You've always called them dies. Good girl. You are like way ahead of the game, huh? Smart. I called them thinlets and framelets because it made a sense to me. Some were frames, thinlets, it's fine and dandy. But they are actually dies, so should be easier than I am making it probably for myself. All right, now I've learned even when I can see through the stamp, it's helpful to line up the bottom of my sentiment with the actual bottom of my stamp so it's straight. It just helps me. Now with a round label, it doesn't matter so much, but if it's a square or rectangular label and I'm concerned about making it be all square, it's helpful for me to do that. All right, so we have our label done, and I think I'm all finished with that stamp set, so we'll just toss that one aside. We're going to be done with that color, but this is the color I'm using for my camera, so we'll keep that out. And now we will assemble our little flower. So when I'm going to pull this down a little bit. With the flower petals, what you need to do is find the one that's on the top, and then always peel it from the bottom. Because they just peel off individually. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down even lower. And hopefully you can see this well. It's super easy to do. They do just peel up, but because you mar the edge a tiny bit, we're going to cover the center, so that's why you want to peel up from the bottom. And then your petal kind of just has this nice little shape. Now, I didn't leave myself as much room, so I'm going to start, make sure I go in the right direction. I'm going to start on this side to build my little flower. And then you just build your flower, and you can put as many petals as you want to on it. It's pretty simple. It said if you could start each flower for a child, it would actually be something a kid could do super easily. And if you don't like how you did it, you can just peel it up. Super easy. So what do you think? Now, the only thing I can say is that it took me a long time to find the flower petal that was on the top. Although it's actually fairly obvious, but when I get my stamp stuff, I'm always in a big rush to just get going. I want to get going on it fast. And so I actually peeled it up from not the very top, and I had to correct that later. Oops, I don't want to do that. Now see, I got my center off a little bit there. And see how easy it is to just peel that little guy up. And if it was even if it wasn't vellum, it would just peel right up because they are just little washi tape flowers. They're pretty cool petals. They're kind of translucent a little bit if you had light behind them. But because they are sticky, they tend to lay down. And I kind of want them to lay down because if I slide it in and out of an envelope, I'm afraid if it's curved up, like if these were paper, we could curve them up, you know, with your bone folder. You can have a nice curve to your petals. These don't, you're not going to want to do that, I don't think. I've seen some pictures where they have done that because it does actually has a really nice shape, but it's sticky there. So if you did that, you would need to put some kind of powder. I know people, you could use your little embossing buddy probably to get it a little unsticky there, and then maybe it would stick up, but I'm not too concerned about that. This is sort of one of those quick cards. So you can just keep going if you want to make it a multi-layered petal flower. Like there, it looks like probably needs a little bit there. There's tons of these petals on here. When I did my first one, I was thinking, wow, wasn't sure how many flowers I could get out of this little pack, but it's looking like I'm going to get more than I really want because it's fun, but I'm already getting a little tired of it. So there you go. And it's not something I can send to anybody because I can't lay it down flat. So that's not something I can use as a gift, really. All right, we'll put you back up a little bit. Now with our fuzzy flower centers. Hi, Tricia. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Sylvia and my Aunt Connie. Hey, you guys. It's nice to see you. Yes, Sylvia, the stars have aligned. That's pretty good because that's a nice reference to the fact that we are actually using our Morning Star stamp today. So nice job. Nicely done. You probably knew that. Now with our fuzzy flower centers, it has this little... it has a kind of a mini dimensional. It's not quite as fat as our dimensionals, but almost. And I am peeling that guy off. The center itself is so fat already that if you leave that on there, it's so high in your card. It's terribly hard to... I'm going to have to pay a fortune for mailing that if I leave that. So I'm just going to put my Tombow there instead and let this little center glue itself on there. And that's how I did this one. It stays on great and it's not quite as high. Otherwise it's just way too high. All right. Oh, I forgot my little ribbon. So let me run and grab my ribbon. This is our purple posy edged linen ribbon. And there. All right. So we just need a little snip of that to lay down like this. So let me see how long I actually want it. I want some nice diagonal edges on it. And about there. Okay. All right, so we'll do that. And remove this. I don't think I need that green anymore. We already stamped that. So now we do need a dimensional, and then this card is already done. This was just super quick, and it's pretty fun. And I'm just gonna stick a dimensional on the middle, in the middle of my ribbon there, to put that on. Oops, I don't want that there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and then we'll put a few on this to sort of secure that on a little better. All right. I saw, I hope that all the fires in Australia, are they anywhere near you, Sylvia? All the, are you in Australia or are you I get the New Zealand and Australia mixed up. I know you're not. I was thinking you were in. Now I'm wondering, have I got you mixed up? I'm easily mixed up. Okay, so we're gonna just stick our little label right there, and that card is done. So we're gonna just set that one up here, set it aside, and move you up just a tiny bit. Now we're gonna work on this card. This one also is gonna go really quickly. It's using our Capture the Good stamp set, and I really like it. It's fun. I don't know how many kids actually know much about this kind of a camera. Most people don't use this kind of a camera anymore. But it's a lot more of a you know, fun picture to use for stamps than a phone would be. I think it is anyhow. Okay, I'm just trying to get out my memento, my black memento. All right, Freddie, you've joined us. You were gone for a little bit. Glad you were able to come in and join us. So I'm just inking that up. This is the card we did earlier, Freddie, just so you can see. I used those washi tape petals to build that flower up. So I'm just gonna stamp the camera. As you can see, it stamps really easy. Even though it's a pretty big stamp, that one has been working really well. I don't really have to I don't have to use the Stamparatus with that one. And this one has a lot of really fun sentiments that go with that camera. So I'm gonna set that aside. We're gonna be using that. I just need to color this really quick. I'm only using my light Blackberry Bliss, the light Blackberry Bliss blending pens. So let's see if that's what this is. Yes. Oh, wait a second. I do think I also used some Smoky Slate. Okay, so we'll just use the light one first of all. I'll use the dark one. We'll do all the dark stuff first. Put this down so you can see what's happening here. Not that it's all that terribly exciting, but I'm gonna have to move my glasses so that I can see. So I'm just gonna go over the shaded part a little bit with this dark one. Okay, and I'm gonna do I'm just using this one color really for the whole thing. Just a couple of variations of it. All right, I saw one of the newsletters I get is from, I think it's from a lady called, I think her name's Ann Craig. I could be wrong. Anyway, so she was talking about how she could see the fires where she was. It sounded pretty awful. So glad we haven't had that here. Here in the Tri-Cities, it's really hot and windy and dry. A lot of times in the summer, we can have problems with fires too, but generally we've been really blessed and not had much of that. It's been very windy this winter, but thankfully in the winter there's enough moisture, it's not an issue. All right, so we're just gonna make this dark, and this one's gonna be dark. That one I'll leave for my gray. Okay, so I'm just kind of coloring over the part that I'm going to leave or do the shading from, but this part I'm going to do dark anyway. So now I'm just going to use the bigger tip and go over that whole thing. I do want the shaded part to be a little darker, so that's why I colored it first, just to get it even a little darker. And then we'll just use the light. I hear my cat alarm going off out there. I don't know if that means there's a cat. Shoo, shoo, kitty. Or it could be a squirrel. The squirrels set them off pretty often too. And I went out in the yard. Jeff was so disgusted because they were going off all the time. So I did go out and I got them reset so they They are working really well, but they aren't going off all of the time. The birds set them off a lot. So when the birds were setting them off, I knew it was time to get out there and get them reset. So now they're functioning properly, and our neighbors probably aren't going to report me to the police. Okay, now we're going to cut out this middle part for my little shaker. So I don't really have to be too careful about how I'm coloring that. Okay, I'm going to even color in it a little bit, just so that I don't have to worry about whether I've left some uncolored and then have to come back in. This is pretty dark. You could, make this probably a little prettier by doing various colors, but I kind of liked having it's such a simple design. I kind of liked having it all very simple. And I'm just going over it a little bit. I do want some gray in there. Okay, so that's all the gray. I saw some really funny Babylon bees, ladies. Have you been looking at them? Pretty funny stuff. One said that the network decided to make the Super Bowl halftime simple so they would not have any wardrobe complications like they've had wardrobe malfunctions earlier. They made it simple by just eliminating most of the wardrobe. I thought that was pretty funny. Jeff and I actually got to watch the Super Bowl this year. We've gone without TV so long that he's just gotten used to not watching. He's a football coach, high school level. But so he likes football a lot, but we've just gotten used to not watching it. So we ended up having to get rid of our Netflix because I didn't really like what they were offering anymore. And then we substituted a different service that has TV actually on it. So we got to watch the Super Bowl. But we have found out years ago when our boys were small that those halftime shows have become so bad. They are usually really sleazy. And so Jeff just turned it off when halftime came on, and then we turned it back on when it was over, because he can watch that the details of what's happening on the computer to know when it, he kind of knows how long it is going to be. So you just don't watch it, don't watch that stuff. It kind of makes me think the more you comment on it, how bad it is, the more the networks are thinking, good, people are watching it. Well, don't watch it. Don't comment on it. Don't watch it. Now, I'm going to put this is an old punch that we have had for a very long time, 1 1/4 inches. So you could use a circle die and cut this out too, but I'm just using my punch because it's the right size and it's super easy to do. So there's my little inner part, and for the backing of it, I don't need a big piece. I just need it to be big enough to go on the back side of that camera. I don't want it to be so big that it's gonna show at all, so it can be really pretty narrow. There, so that's gonna be the back side of it. Does that make sense? And I'm gonna move this up a little bit again so you can see, and I gotta get my computer over here so I can see. It's too racy. Wasn't a malfunction? Yeah. I heard on Rush Limbaugh a little bit today what they were doing, and I knew from comments of our friends that it was bad, but when I heard what it actually entailed, it is horrifying. But again, I'm just saying, advertising is actually kind of like a naughty boy at school, where even a bad comment is a good comment. A lot of little boys will tease the girls, right? Pull their hair, give a little whatever. Just even if the girl turns around and slaps their face, it's like, she paid attention to me. So I'm just saying, So as far as the advertisers go, I am not so sure that negative comments aren't viewed as favorable in their eyes. All right, so we're cutting this at 5.5 inches and scoring it at 4.25 inches. Okay, this is our base card. And then I'm gonna do our background, which is actually, I think I already have our background cut. So this is Blackberry Bliss. That's gonna go right on there. I might have to trim my card just a tiny bit on the side. It looks like looks like it's close. I got it off just a tiny, tiny bit. So let me trim just a little bit of it off. Okay. And then we are gonna cut, since this is 5.5 by 4.25, we're gonna cut this one. Gonna cut this one 5.25. I don't really need the whole thing cut this length though. And then this is gonna be, 4 inches. Okay, and then that's gonna lay right on there and have a nice little border. And I might trim that a tiny bit, but nah, maybe I won't bother. If I was gonna be really fussy with it, I probably would, but I don't really need to, so we won't worry about it. Yeah, I heard that, Freddie. I heard that there were kids on, they had kids, little Hispanic kids in cages. I mean, seriously, I'm sure they were trying to make some political statement. It's totally ridiculous. All right, so window sheets. We've got some window sheets. Now, these I've had laying around. Now, this is just, these are not our actual window sheets. Our window sheets, when you buy them from Stampin' Up, are going to come nice and clear. These are my clear plasticky stuff that I just trimmed to use as window sheets. So they're not as good as your real window sheets. They're a little scuffed up, and but it's going to be adequate for me. And I just need it to be about the same size as this little label. So we'll just use that as a template and cut that like that. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this one on because I do want my glue to be all the way around here. So we'll just put a very thin layer of glue around the circle. So I don't know if you guys were happy with the outcome of the game, but it was nice that it was a close game anyhow. And now that Jeff's watching games again, when we first got married, I couldn't believe how many hours he could watch a football game. I mean, my brother liked to watch football, but not like that. He could watch it for hours and hours. Like, when is that game going to end? Oh, well, we're on the third game. Sorry. Anyway. So now Jeff just doesn't care that much. If it's not that interesting of a game, he shuts it off. And I'll say, really? Game's over already? No, so only it was, but it's a blowout. It's not, I don't want to watch it. So anyhow, it's just interesting that he has changed. I've changed too, so I shouldn't be quite so shocked by that. All right, what did I do different? It looks slightly different, but not much. It's about the same. Okay. So anyway, now we are going to take this base card before we get this on here. I need to stamp those little sentiments. So let's put I really like the Snap Click Say Cheese one. That's cute. This is going to be a cute little card for kids. Even if they don't recognize what a camera is, I think they're still going to like it. Now, don't forget, our SAB, February 4, I believe. Is it February 4? Our regular purchasing people can buy all kinds of stuff. And for every $50 you spend, you get get free items. For every $100 you spend, you can get 2 free items, or you can get 1 really super duper item. So just saying, this is a good time to buy stuff. Let me make sure I have the right one. Yes, I do. Okay. I've got white paper all over my desk. You guys are pretty funny. All right, so we're going to put our little snap, click, say cheese right up there in the corner. And since I'm talking about SAB, which is our acronym for Celebration, Celebration goes until March 31st. So you do have some time to buy your stuff. But it is, a lot of that stuff that we're buying is, only available until it's gone. And some of us demonstrators, I think some of our demonstrators have such huge purchases that they kind of deplete this amount all on their own. So if you want something, you need to buy it right away. It might sell out. You never know. It can. It's happened to me where I've gone and to buy something and it's gone. I think, my goodness, I can't believe that's gone already. So we're going to put the little It's Your Day down here because I'll probably use this for a birthday card at some point. And that'll be fun. And then also, this is a perfect time to join our team. This is, our team has, no, some of you are already on it, but if you aren't, our team has some really great benefits that other teams don't get. All right, we're going to put this label. This is a stitched label. It's not quite the same. This is not my nice whisper white, I can tell by looking at that, but I think we're going to use that anyway. All right, it's a little long, so it's going to go under that camera, and we'll just tuck it in behind there. So we want the It's Your Day with a ... on it. I do really like the Capture the Good sentiment. That's the one I've used quite a bit. That's a good one to use for all kinds of different things. Okay, so we are going to definitely be careful lining this one up because this is a rectangle. So unlike my circle where I could kind of just loosey-goosey stamp that on and not worry about it so much, I want this to be straight and I need it to be at the edge. So I'm going to make sure that my words, I'm going to use this, what do you call this thing? This blotter paper, I guess. It has grid lines on it. So I can align my stamp right on a line, and then I can use the little grid lines under there to kind of line up my sentiments so I know my words are nice and straight. And then when I stamp my sentiment, I'm gonna pull it close to me. I need to make sure that the bottom of my stamp, this part, I don't want to look at my words because my words are probably on here crooked compared to what's actually on the rubber. It's really hard, especially for these little stamps. It's really hard for me to get the stamp picture on top here to match what's actually on that rubber. Really hard. So even though it looks like I got it on there pretty good, ladies, I have stamped so many times and thought, what, you're crooked? Because this one it's crooked. I can tell. So at any rate, we're going to see how this works out. Now, if you have a Stamparatus, you don't have to even worry about this. If you have your Stamparatus, then, let me line that up. Then you can just stick it on there, and I just know after all this blabbing about this that it's going to be crooked. Oh, good, it wasn't. But yeah, if I got the Stamparatus out, you wouldn't have to worry about it because you just lay it on there. You I would stamp a sample first to make sure it's still because you're still kind of using the picture to determine where to place it, even when you're using that Stamparatus. So we are done with Blackberry Bliss. I'm so glad because you are messy, Blackberry Bliss. I always get stuff all over me, and I smudged it. That always happens, but it's okay because it's gonna go right underneath that camera anyway. Grid paper. Thank you, ladies. Yes, it's called grid paper. This pumpkin one is really cute because it has puppies and it says more fun than better than a box full. I love the puppies. They're cute. But the grid lines on this one isn't as easy to see as our regular paper. Now my words are just a hair off, so I'm tilting that label just a tiny bit because it's more important, I think, for the sentiment to be straight than for the tag. Because look at that, I got a smudge on that. You know, I should have gone, if I was at home, you know, if I wasn't doing this on camera, I would have gone and washed. I do that. I should have, Marty, I didn't bring in my cloth like you said I should. That would have helped. All right, so now we're ready to put our camera on, and you're just gonna grab out your little foam strips. These make any shaker card so easy to do. You can do any shape with these. I mean, it's beautiful. You're gonna just love how easy this is. And I know you guys have, I think all of you have probably done shaker cards before. This is not gonna be anything new for you, but it's still pretty fun to watch. So you can just shape it right around whatever shape you're doing. And if you have to cut it, you can. You just have to make sure you butt it up again really tight. Oops, I didn't make it long enough, but that's okay. I'm gonna just let it kind of hang out there and grab out another little bit. You just need to try not to leave any opening there. So I'm kind of going on the inside a little bit. And trying to get that, yeah, right up against one another. Now, I didn't want to peel that off because actually when I stick in my sprinkles, it's sure a lot easier if this is not off. A lot easier, because otherwise I'm going to get sprinkles stuck all over to this adhesive. But now I've got it all halfway out. It was kind of sticking to my hands, so it sort of just happened. I didn't really want that to happen. It just sort of happened. I think I might... Did I throw away my dimensional pieces? I think I have some laying around here. Let's stick those dimensional pieces on here a little bit. It just doesn't want to stay. Now that I've turned it around, well, I'll have to be careful. Okay, so I did use some of my, these are our fun little, the smaller ones of our, what's it called? This is the From My Heart faceted dies. They're pretty. They're really pretty, but I'm just going to use the little ones. And I don't really want the red ones because this is purple. So we'll just take some of the white ones out. I don't need a ton of these. I just need some because they have some weight to them. So when I put in the sequins, these heavier ones are going to help move it all around a little bit better. It's hard to get you guys out. I guess I could use my little pick tool. This one's actually dead, and I have it stuck up here to remind me that I need to buy more. But even though it's dead, it's still going to work fine for this. And I've actually found that just using the tip rather than the whole tool is easier for me because I've had this stuck here on my desk waiting to be replaced probably for about 3 months. I keep forgetting to put it on the order, and I have one in the actual tool, so I do have one. So that's why I just, oh well, don't worry about it. You forgot it. Big deal. Well, I found, because it's right there in front of me and I could just grab it down, that I'm enjoying just using it like this more than when I have the big tool, which is pretty funny. All right, so then I also am using, this is our metallic sequin collection. It is really super shiny. Has all kinds of good little shiny sequins in there. So we're going to put a bunch of those. But I do want, those are a neutral, gold, silver, brown, you know. So I do want some color in it. So here's some woven threads. Ooh, they're pretty, but they're not the right colors. We're going to throw some of those in there, but not too many because they're not the right color. So I pulled out some beads. I've got a bunch of beads, but I did not really have This is a pretty close to our purple. Pretty close. It's a little light. So we'll stick a bunch of you guys in there. Just can't fill it so much that it won't shake. That's the problem. If you fill it too much, it's not going to shake all that much. The gold ones, those little beads, were kind of nice in there. I did take I've got these big giant sequins that are foil, and I used a hole punch to try to put, but it didn't really work. I ended up just cutting it. And then those stuck to my window. I should have probably used my embossing buddy on that window before I stuck these beads in, but I forgot. I forgot again. I forgot with that one, and I forgot with then. If I'd taken my little embossing buddy and just rubbed it on that window, I think the static would have gone away, and I wouldn't have the issue of it maybe sticking to the window. But I think these sequins are going to do okay. I don't think I have to worry about it so much with these. All right, so now we're going to get my head in here because I need to make sure this is sealed good. And it's pretty close to the actual shape there. In fact, I see there's a tiny, I better do a little snippet. What have I got? I've got a little piece of scrap here somewhere. Here we go. There it is. It's just not quite there. So we'll stick you there. But I think you're sealed there. I could have made that just a little bit wider. Wouldn't have hurt. All right, so there's my little shaker. And, well, this is what we're making. Where's my card? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got this, and we're almost done. I just need to glue it. You have sprinkles everywhere? Yeah, the baby wipes. I need the baby wipes here at my desk. That would be the ticket. All right, so I'm going off to the side, trying not to reveal what I'm doing over here on the side. But what I'm doing is actually what I do when I want to make sure this is perfect. And this is pretty close to the edge, so I don't want any fuss. And it takes me a while to get that set. I like to be able to adjust this a little bit. All right, there we go. Now we're adjusted. And boy, I thought I had, what did I do with my card? That's my card. That's not a base. Oh, there's my card base. Ha, I've got it on the wrong one. Let's peel you off. That's the other beautiful thing about that is I can do that, right? Okay, there we go. Because I actually want that to be covered, the whole card. Shouldn't have any border showing there. Ah, that worked out beautifully. All right, so we'll do the same thing over here. Just pretend you don't know what's going on and talk amongst yourselves about various things. Like here's another Babylon Bee one you can have a good laugh on. It said people tend to tune out on the fifth threat to democracy. They tune out. They don't pay attention. And it was a Babylon Bee, so it was a joke. Okay, it only seemed a little funny to be not ha-ha funny, just a little ha-ha funny. And then another one was that a Baptist church's halftime service was criticized for showing too much ankle. I thought that was a really good one because whether you're a Baptist or something else, it's pretty funny. Okay, so that's going to go on there. So we're going to just glue that down. Oh, no, glue? Do we need to glue? Well, I can glue it here. If I'll have to put some dimensionals here, though, because I want it to stay really good. Because anybody who gets this is going to be shaking it a lot, I hope. I mean, that's the point, right? That they're going to have a good time shaking it. Oh, I've got a piece of dimensional right there, but now I've ruined it, so that one's not going to work. And I got my black ones. Let's put my black ones on here. Okay, so we'll put those guys there. And we'll put some glue here. Hopefully it'll be close to the same height. It's a little bit shorter these foam strips are a tiny bit fatter than our dimensionals, but I hate to put another layer of dimensional. I can. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. I don't really know because I'm thinking that's going to be too high. It's pretty close though, so let's do another one. Let's do a half of a one. I only have a half of a one handy there. I lost track of my white ones that I had out for this event. All right, now I've got all kinds of smudges where my hand is gone, so we're going to just cover some of those up with my camera. And then, since we do have those lovely smudges, we'll just put a little glue on them and stick some of my, where did those go? These little sprinkles. We'll put some sprinkles on there. I can use my bigger ones on those pieces. And that'll conceal my little smudge, hopefully. It's the other reason I buy these embellishments, is just so that I can hide my mistakes. Because I do smudge often. It's just the nature of things. Okay, there we go. So those are not necessarily artfully placed, but they are covering up my smudges now. All right, so that is the shaker card. So we did those 2 cards. Pretty good deal. It went pretty fast. Here's one last laugh for you. Let's see. This is a really good one. Now, my daughter lives in Portland, so she's going to like this one. Well, she doesn't live there anymore, but she used to. She used to live in Portland. So on Babylon Bee, it says that Portland has been quarantined to prevent the spread of communism. She's going to love that one. That's a good one. All right, so you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me look at your comment here really quick. You went to trim your card and trimmed it on the spine side. I have done that so many times. Yeah, I've done it too, thankfully. There's always another piece of cardstock there, and you can slap that baby on there and just pretend it never happened. But yeah, now pretty much I just almost always, before I go to glue on my front, like that's how I make most of my cards, is I do a front, and then at my last step is to just stick it on my base card. It's the last step on almost everything I make. I do it different on camera just for speed. Although actually it would saved me time if I probably did it my traditional way, but sometimes to show you the steps, I can't really do that as easily, but that way. And then before I slap that baby on, I check to see which way is it opening, because that's what I do more than anything else, is get it all done. And I'm just full of pride. That pride goeth before a fall. I'm thinking, that looks so good, Kathy. Good job. And then I go to stick it in the envelope to give it to somebody, and I've got it on upside down or backwards. And I think, oh, you dope. I can't believe you did it again. But anyway, that's why if you get a really super thick card, because I've had to glue it a couple of times on a base card and had to cut it off and glue it and then cut it off and glue it, because I might have done it a couple of times. It's happened. All right, so I hope you've had a good laugh with me and you are ready to go and have a great week. Lots of crafting. Get in there and get that SAB, those celebration items, before they're all gone. There's that Power of Hope thing that's $100 sale one is beautiful. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm seeing some wonderful cards. Those that ladybug thing is so cool, and they're going to have the dies for all of that. So make sure you get in there, get your dies for the ladybugs and the cake and all that. So anyhow, have fun with it and enjoy your day. God bless you. God bless us all. Let's keep praying that things keep going well and enjoying our weather. It's really a nice time of the year for us. I don't know how it is for all of you. It could be not so great where you are. I don't know. I'm not sure for all of you, but but it will get better. If it's not, that's the one great thing about the weather, right? Is if you don't like it, just wait a little while and it'll change and hopefully change for the better. All right. Thank you again. And congratulations, Andy. Andy was the winner. I share your videos. Write down that you shared. I'll put your name in as many times as you share, and we'll see what happens next week. All right. Bye.